want to give an update to the story that happened the other day with the NFL football player Chad Wheeler, that the media tried to bury this story because we know good and well if this was an NFL black player, this story would not have been buried at all. So the Seattle Seahawks, as you know, last time that they had let Chad Wheeler go, and he pleaded not guilty Monday. The charges stemming from the brutal assault. Now listen to that. He sat there, he beat this woman to a bloody pulp. He literally choked this woman almost to death and told her, "Oh, I'm wow, you're alive." A big old 6'7", 315-pound dude. And yet he pleads not guilty, like he didn't do anything. So he's 27 years old, and this actually happened in Kent, Washington. Now, the girlfriend passed out twice on January the 22nd, and the police department put out a statement saying that in the police reports and case documents, it said investigative reports revealed several new details about the violent attack, confirmed that the victim, and we know who she is, we saw the picture, but they're not naming her to protect her. Now, they said the woman had noticeable fingerprints on both sides, of her neck, from Wheeler strangling her with both of his hands. It said the force of the chokehold caused capillaries, to burst in the back of her throat. It said days after the ordeal, she said she was having trouble eating due to the pain in her throat. Listen to that. They said the victim was also hospitalized with a broken nose, a fractured humerus bone, and dislocated elbow that will require her to undergo orthopedic surgery. He is a big old coward. Well, why he didn't go do that to another man? Now, she told police, he snapped into a dark place and ordered her to stand up and bow to him. And so, according to the police report, and when she didn't do that, he grabs her by the neck and slammed her to the bed when she refused. Now, Chad Wheeler had went to YouTube and heard certain people with this divestment crap on some white male worship. Maybe that got in his head when he was off his meds. I don't know. And he thought he could do that to his girlfriend. And he's like, hell no, you ain't bound down to you. Just maybe. I don't know. Propaganda's a strong thing, right? If they could say misinformation all day long on YouTube about medical, and they could say misinformation about radicalizing people, how do we know? He could have heard some of those videos. We don't know. Could have. Not to say he did. Not to say he's excused from what he done either, but I'm just saying maybe he heard some of that and thought that all black women were supposed to worship people like him, and that one didn't. Now, the charging documents also reveal that police had to use the taser on him and use a hobble to temporarily restrain him, and say when he wrestled with the officers when they were trying to take him into custody, and said that this one guy overpowered 3 different men. Well, it looks like they need to be in the gym and stop eating so much donuts. I'm just saying, no matter how strong he is, his legs is weak, his groin is weak. Certain ways you can hit people in the legs and take them down no matter how strong they are. Period. Ain't no weight you can lift for the knees. There's no weight you can lift for the groin. Just saying. They say now he's facing first degree domestic violence assault, domestic violence, unlawful imprisonment. That's a particular charge, and resisting arrest. They say if he's convicted, he can spend up to 12 years in prison. Now, he went to arraignment on Monday, and the judge placed him on house arrest in Washington. Why did he get a bail? Now, let's call it what it is. If this would have been a 6'7", 315-pound brother, and he had a white girlfriend, and he'd have done the exact same thing, everything exactly the same, do you think this brother would have gotten those charges? Matter of fact, because he choked her the way he choked her, that brother would have got attempted murder charges. You know it, I know it. That's exactly what happened. See, when they come out and say protect black women, they're not going to protect you from Zaddy. I'm going to let you know that right now. No, this system will not protect you. They'll protect Karen. They'll protect her, but they're not going to protect you. Now, he had a $400,000 bond. He was ordered to not have any contact with the woman at all. Now, she wrote a statement in court that says, I want you to know that I believe as long as Wheeler is not in custody, I'm not safe. So Chad never called the police after the assault, even though he thought I was dead. Now Chad is out of custody, staying in a hotel, watching this play out on social media. And I hope Chad see this video. The current status places my safety at risk. It said, and I do not believe that a protective order or condition of release is sufficient to keep me safe. The victim also objected to the judge's decision to keep Wheeler in Seattle, where she lives. It say, I object to him serving his time in Seattle. It say, which places me at risk. They don't care about you like that. You're a black woman. Let's call it what it is. Now, it say Wheeler and the victim described the incident as a manic episode. It said the victim of Wheeler's attack originally declined to press charges when investigators questioned her at the hospital. That's the interesting part. At first you was going to protect Zaddy? That's interesting. But see, the media tried to bury this story. Now, it says she did talk to officers tonight. The assault telling investigators she and Wheeler met online and been dating for 6 months. She knew he suffered from bipolar disorder, but claimed he didn't had an episode since he had a police encounter in California 5 years ago. Now, I'm going to say something kind of controversial. You may not like it, but this is me and this is what I believe in. This is my truth. People can do what they want. If I found out a woman had those kind of issues, I wasn't dating her, because I don't know what's going to happen if you don't take your meds or whatever the case may be. I'm not about to be around. Sorry. Get the help you need, but I can't do it. That's just me. I can't. Oh, that's messed up. You can be messed up, but I just wasn't doing it. I'm married and my wife don't have those issues. But I'm just saying that was a criteria too. Just like it was a criteria for me. A woman can't be a drunkard or smoking drugs or doing what. I have my criteria, and that's one of them. I'm not about to deal with your mental episodes. I'm just not. Don't have to. Like, I just don't. But they said that Wheeler's father testified Monday in arraignment that he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 2016. But see, that's what they're going to do. You see, now if a brother said, I'm depressed, that's why I did that to her. I have bipolar disorder. When a brother, they were like, what? Man, don't, man, forget that. You ain't getting no bail. But him, Chad here, well, he had bipolar disorder. Just like when they go do school shootings and they go shoot up at a hotel or whatever they go do. Oh, he had mental health issues. See, that's that white privilege card that brothers don't get in the NFL. A brother get tagged with anything. Look at Ray Rice, for instance. Ray Rice, and he had a black wife, and we don't support what Ray Rice had done at the time. Ray Rice not only was let go of the NFL, Ray Rice was demonized, ran through the mud. But look at Chad Wheeler. The mainstream media is not running this on a loop. They're not talking about him. Yeah, ESPN and them is talking about it because the brothers and sisters on social media is the one that got this story going. They were trying to bury this story. Because, now my news channel, I'm a little bit more political. I'll talk about, how the system is going to protect people like Chad here. They're going to bury those stories. But when it's a black NFL athlete, they run it on a loop. They won't stop talking about it. And I know Shannon Sharp had called that out. A few other brothers, I think Randy Moss and all of them called that out about, hey, when there's a black athlete, y'all do it. Why not talk about it with him? You know what I'm saying? Now, they said that, he had stopped taking his medication, but she was worried about him, and when he had to start having these manic episodes, and he'll go be emotionally up and down is what she said. It just, listen, we can go on and on and on and on and on about this guy. Now, the woman herself is 5'9" and 145 pounds. That's a small woman, taller woman, but still a smaller woman compared to him. Now, what I'm saying is, this guy here, we can't let this story go. We're not gonna let it go here because this is the entertainment channel. We cover sports, we cover everything, Hollywood, music, whatever. We're not gonna let it go. So anything update we're going to find out about Chad here, we're going to talk about that. But once again, don't be telling people or don't be telling women in our community that going to Chad here your life's going to be so much better and nothing's going to happen to you. And, oh, he got so much money. He got so much power. And he got so much. I mean, you make yourself sound silly, because when you look at this Chad Wheeler story, what about that black woman? What would you say to that? And do you know some of them is trying to give him a pass? Say, oh, he just wasn't on his medication. That's why that happened. I mean, they're defending Zaddy, okay? Even though when a black woman's life has almost been taken from her, and he still didn't get no attempted murder charge. He almost killed her. He got no attempted murder charge whatsoever. That tells you how they protect Zaddy, and they won't protect a black woman from a Zaddy. You understand? So keep listening to the divestment people that's telling you that this guy's is like the greatest thing ever. Nothing's going to happen to you. It's those mean black men, and them same ones gonna say, why the brothers didn't protect you? Well, how could a brother protect you if you saying you hate brothers, right? But leave me a comment. Let me think about a situation with Chad here. And we're going to keep on this story, because the media not going to bury this one. Not at all. He needs to be exposed. He needs to be talked about just as much as they talked about any other brother who done that.